She was a single mother who was climbing towards a bright future.
You couldn't help but to smile being around her.
She wanted to work even harder to provide a better life for herself and for her children.
She never expected to find love in her own neighborhood.
Hey, you need some help?
But when it showed up on her doorstep, she was like a moth to the flame.
They immediately hit it off.
She loved that he was the strong, silent type.
However, the whirlwind romance would be cut short by an unthinkable tragedy.
She is cold to the touch, and rigor mortis has already set in.
This was one of those cases that was an eyebrow raiser from the start.
Her body didn't have any visible signs of trauma, no gunshot wounds, no stabs.
As investigators pore over the case, the mystery only deepens.
Someone has carved an obscenity in the side of her car.
He was just one of those guys that couldn't seem to stay out of trouble.
He was not all the way right in the mind. His mind is gone.
Detectives would soon learn that a twisted mind can be just as dangerous as a lethal weapon.
He's not telling the whole story.
He has a psychotic disorder.
His anger and controlling tendencies were spiraling completely out of control.
Thursday, February 4th, 2016. It's lunchtime in Waco, Texas, a quiet community located halfway between Dallas and Austin.
It's a city dubbed the heart of Texas.
It's been a community experiencing quite a bit of growth in the last 10 or 15 years. It's a community on the rise, but very close-knit one.
However, one close-knit Waco family has spent their day in a panic. At 12:30 p.m., Latasha Kenton arrives at the home of her 29-year-old niece, Nikki Walker.
Well, I just got here.
No one has seen or heard from Nikki in the last few days.
Nikki hadn't called to check on her two kids, who were staying at her grandmother's for the week, while Nikki worked late shifts at her new job.
She was really a devoted mother, close to her children, and she would make phone calls to them when she was on break from work. She didn't make her typical routine phone calls, which raised red flags to the family.
Her family was growing increasingly concerned, so her aunt decided to check the home.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to get inside. Well, her car is here, so that's a good sign.
She saw Nikki's car parked in the front yard.
I'll keep you posted. All right.
And when Latasha approaches the vehicle, she notices her niece inside.
Nikki!
Inside the car, Nikki is in the front seat, but she is unconscious and unresponsive.
Latasha makes a desperate call to 911. But when police arrive, it's clear there's no saving Latasha's niece.
As soon as they touch her body, they realize, unfortunately, they're too late.
No pulse.
Oh, Nikki!
She is cold to the touch, and rigor mortis has already set in.
Nikki Walker is dead.
Unikia Walker, also known as Nikki, carried a radiant energy with her wherever she went.
Nikki had a very infectious personality where you couldn't help but to smile being around her.
She was bubbly and fun-loving and eager to enjoy new experiences. Nikki had 2 children that she adored.
As a single mom with 2 little mouths to feed, Nikki was no stranger to hard work.
Hey, girl. Yeah, I can cover for you. Let me just make sure my grandma can watch the kids, okay?
For a while, she worked as a customer service representative for a Texas utility company.
But she wasn't satisfied with where she was in life, so she wanted to work even harder to provide a better life for herself and for her children.
And that's what led her to decide to go back to school and further her career.
She enrolled in Texas State Technical College.
Nikki's goal was to get a job in security technologies, And before long, she'd do just that.
She started a position at a well-known aerospace and defense company.
She had built a really good life for herself.
And in the spring of 2015, she'd find a partner to share it with.
Hey, you need some help?
That's okay. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, let me help you out here.
36-year-old Marcus Scott lived in Nikki's neighborhood, just a couple streets away.
Marcus was the strong, silent type.
Nikki was drawn in by his sweet and gentle demeanor.
Thank you. It's been a long day.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I live right down the street if you ever need anything.
Good to know.
Between work, school, and being a single mom, Nikki didn't get out very much. So dating someone who lived in her neighborhood seemed like a perfect scenario.
It seemed like a match made in heaven.
Before long, they were inseparable, hanging out all the time.
The kids liked spending time with him as much as she did.
Nikki wanted a man who would stay by her side and help her raise her children.
Nikki really saw a future with this individual and thought they could be together.
So how did she end up dead in the driveway of her own home?
Judging by the fact that her body was cold to the touch and rigor mortis had already set in, police can tell Nikki has already been dead as long as 48 hours.
But what happened to her?
Her body didn't have any visible signs of trauma, no gunshot wounds, no stabs, no abrasions, none of those things were seen.
This was one of those cases that was an eyebrow raiser from the start. So from Jump Street, we're talking about a bit of a mystery as to how she got to where she got and what had happened to her leading to her death.
Police began to speculate that maybe Nikki passed away from some type of medical issue or possibly even a drug overdose.
However, on the exterior of Nikki's vehicle, investigators locate a telling clue that suggests otherwise.
Detectives, come take a look at this.
Someone has carved the word in the paint.
That is someone who has thought about this. They know what they're going to do.
At 29 years old, Nikki Walker had already built a great life for herself in Waco, Texas.
With 2 healthy children, a good job, and a good man by her side, she had everything that she ever wanted.
But now Nikki has been found dead inside her car. And based on the initial evidence, it looks like she was murdered.
Detectives, come check this out.
On the exterior of the vehicle, someone has carved the word in the paint.
Clearly, someone with a motivation or animosity toward Nikki had damaged her car.
And a closer look at Nikki's body reveals additional signs of foul play.
Once detectives check her eyes, they see burst blood vessels, telltale signs of strangulation.
Strangulation is an incredibly intimate act.
It requires a killer to stare into their victim's eyes for several minutes while they choke them.
Someone has to be extremely motivated to actually strangle a person to death. Whoever committed this crime had personal reasons to do so.
Inside the vehicle, investigators notice another clue.
And that's the blood stain on the passenger seat of the vehicle.
There aren't any injuries on Nikki that would produce a blood stain, so investigators believed that the blood that they found belonged to Nikki's killer.
Crime scene technicians take photographs. They swab the vehicle inside and out, and specifically, the blood stain was swabbed.
They don't locate any other blood evidence inside the home.
Meanwhile, Nikki's family is becoming more and more desperate for answers.
Many of the victims' loved ones have already received the news and are showing up at the scene.
Her family was actually in the process of filing a missing persons report right before her aunt discovered the body.
So sorry for your loss, but please know we're going to do everything we can to bring Nikki's killer to justice.
Thank you.
Nikki's relatives are just devastated from the news that Nikki has been murdered.
None of her family could believe that someone as kind and caring as Nikki could have been harmed in such a way.
You know, she didn't deserve this.
Because the way the murder was committed was so personal, the police asked Nikki's family if she had been involved in any type of dating relationships.
Romantic partners are almost always the place to start in any type of homicide investigation.
She was seeing a guy from the neighborhood named Marcus.
According to Nikki's family, they had only been together for about 6 weeks.
However, detectives still know that Marcus is someone they need to talk to right away.
We'll be sure to keep you updated.
So after leaving the crime scene, detectives head straight to Marcus's house.
When detectives approach the front door, they can smell food cooking and hear a TV playing inside the home.
Marcus Scott?
It's obvious someone is inside the house, but when they knock on the door, no one answers.
Marcus, it's the police. We need to talk to you.
They make several attempts to get Marcus's attention, but he never comes to the door.
To the investigators, this is a huge red flag that Marcus may be hiding something. Why would an innocent person refuse to answer the door?
Waco homicide detectives investigating the murder of Nikki Walker are attempting to speak with her boyfriend, Marcus Scott.
Hello, anybody home?
They can hear the TV playing, but he refuses to answer the door.
They can't help but wonder if he is avoiding them because he has some type of involvement in this crime.
Without a warrant, the only thing detectives can do is instruct officers to continue patrolling the area and wait for Marcus to emerge.
We're headed back to headquarters. Let us know if you make any contact.
And later that evening, investigators are in luck.
At about 9:30 p.m., the patrol officer notices Marcus standing outside with another man.
Marcus Scott?
Yes, officer.
The officer approaches Marcus and informs him that detectives are looking to speak with him about Nikki's death.
Detectives came by to talk to you earlier this morning. You didn't answer the door. Why not?
Oh, that was you guys? My bad. I was a little preoccupied.
Marcus told them that he heard knocks earlier that day, but he was in the bathroom and he couldn't answer the door. By the time he came out, he said they were gone.
Marcus says he was devastated to learn about Nikki's untimely death.
We weren't together for long, but man, I really cared about her.
Marcus appears to be cooperative.
He said he wants to speak to the detectives to clear his name.
Okay, well, you can come back with me to the station. Who's your friend here?
That's just my boy, Leland.
Leland?
Yeah.
Leland Marsh?
The officer recognized the name Leland Marsh.
ID.
Leland has a warrant out for his arrest for a burglary charge.
He was just one of those guys that couldn't seem to stay out of trouble with the law.
Guess what, Leland? You get to ride with me, too. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
What? Man.
Back at police headquarters, the detectives investigating Nikki's murder sit down with Marcus Scott.
Tell us about your relationship with Nikki Walker.
Well, I met her about a month ago.
He proceeds to tell detectives that they had an on-again, off-again relationship, but they maintained a friends with benefit type relationship.
Did you kill Nikki Walker?
No, absolutely not.
Do you know who did?
No, I wish I did, but no.
He wasn't able to provide any other leads.
Detectives are still suspicious of Marcus, but they'll need more than just a hunch to solve this case.
Not only was Marcus Nikki's last romantic partner, but it also appears that Marcus was avoiding the detectives.
There was some investigating to be done, but they were believing that Marcus had something to do with it.
All right. Thank you for your time, Marcus.
No problem.
And the next morning, detectives learn there's an inmate at the county jail with some promising information for them.
Homicide. Oh, he does. Interesting. Yeah, we'll be right down. Gotta go.
The informant is none other than Marcus's friend, Leland Marsh. Leland admits it's been difficult for him to come forward.
This is one of my childhood friends. When I was homeless, his mother took me in. You know what I'm saying?
You really were close. But when Leland heard about what happened to Nikki, he started to get an uneasy feeling.
There were some things that were not adding up about Marcus's actions in the hours before Nikki was killed.
Investigators believe that Nikki was killed sometime between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning.
It had to be Tuesday night. I dropped Marcus off at a house like maybe 1 in the morning.
But Leland tells police that when he dropped Marcus off, Nikki was not at her home.
Don't let anybody hear, man.
It's okay, I'll wait.
She used to get off work at, I think, 12:45. And Marcus would be like, well, drop me off over here. And I'm like, Marcus, bro, what, you just gonna be sitting outside till she come?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, she'll be here in a minute.
Leland says that he offered to drop Marcus off at a later time when Nikki was home, but Marcus refused.
Hey, you sure?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'll see you later.
All right, peace.
I remember I talked to him the next day, which was Wednesday. I talked to him. I'm like, bro, what happened with Lil Mom? You stayed over there last night? He's like, nah, she never came home, so I walked to the house.
But she never came home?
Yeah, he's like, she never came home.
And on Thursday, Leland says he found out the terrible news.
When I passed by the house, I'm like, damn, they had yellow tape off, and I'm like, man, I hope nothing happened. So I got out and I talked to this old lady, and I'm like, man, what happened?
Is Nikki okay?
She's like, my niece is dead.
While he was still at the scene, Leland immediately called Marcus.
I called Marcus, and he answered the phone. And I'm like, bro, the girl dead, bro, Nikki dead, bro. You know, so somebody killed her, bro.
But to Leland's surprise, Marcus didn't react the way he thought he would.
But Marcus was not showing no emotion.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Marcus was like, we just broke up.
I understand that you just broke up, but this is someone you've in a relationship with.
Every day.
You're going to have some kind of reaction.
Something about that didn't sit right. Even though they were no longer a couple, something as horrific as a homicide should at least warrant some type of reaction.
Leland admits that even when Marcus and Nikki were together, their relationship was rocky.
Based on the arguments that he heard when they were together, Nikki felt like Marcus was smothering her.
Marcus, this is just becoming too much. I need space.
She had started meeting new people, going out to clubs. She was like, Marcus, you know, you want me to be around you 24/7. I got my own life, I want to have fun. I'm 29. Let me have some fun.
According to Leland, Marcus could not bear to give Nikki the space that she needed.
What, you trying to sleep around or something?
Marcus thought that she was messing with another dude.
Is there another man?
Another.
He was not okay with that. That was the tipping point.
Waco detectives investigating the death of single mother Nikki Walker are speaking with Leland Marsh, a friend of Nikki's ex, Marcus Scott. According to Leland, Marcus was exhibiting suspicious behavior in the days before Nikki's body was discovered.
For investigators, what Leland is saying raises even more red flags around Marcus.
It had to be Tuesday night. I dropped Marcus off at a house like maybe 1 in the morning.
Detectives can now place him at the scene of the crime within the time frame that Nikki was killed.
Additionally, Leland claims that days prior to her death, Nikki told Marcus she needed some space, and he didn't take it well.
Is there another man?
Another.
She was establishing that this wasn't working and that she was ending things. He was not okay with that. That was the tipping point.
Marcus is not all the way right in the mind. If you know him from like when I know him to now, that's not the same person.
Do you know what happened to him?
And he went to prison.
In the early 2000s, Marcus spent 7 years in prison for weapon charges and organized crimes.
He came out of prison, he's just not the same person.
What's changed?
Everything. I don't know how to explain it. Like, he sit down, then he'll jump up, turn around in a circle, and sit back down. Or he'll get out the car, just stand there and look down the street. I don't know if his mind is gone, you know.
After speaking with Leland, detectives are convinced that Marcus was involved in Nikki's murder.
Why didn't he mention getting dropped off at Nikki's house on Tuesday night?
The aggression, the attachment style, those are all very alarming.
And later that afternoon, Nikki's cousin Floyd Jordan comes forward with even more damning information about Marcus.
That man was no good for her.
Floyd tells the police that Marcus was abusing Nikki.
She didn't break up with him for nothing. He's dangerous.
Floyd tells the detectives that the reason Nikki and Marcus's relationship ended was because of Marcus's violent tendencies.
Tell me!
Nikki came to the realization that not only was it dangerous for her to be around Marcus, but it was dangerous for her kids as well. She didn't want them to be around that.
But Floyd says Marcus refused to take no for an answer.
He was stalking her and showing up to her house unannounced.
He would show up there. He would wait for her in the dark, wait for her at midnight.
She caught him peeking in her windows before.
Floyd tells detectives the situation came to a head on Tuesday night.
She called me Tuesday in the middle of the night, freaking out.
Nikki told Floyd that she had just recently driven home from work and found Marcus waiting for her on her porch.
Oh my God, he's on my front porch. What should I do?
You need to get out of there.
Detectives realize what they're hearing from Floyd directly contradicts what Marcus told Leland.
Marcus told Leland that Nikki never came home that night after he dropped them off.
I told her to come pick me up and I'd help get him to leave.
He felt like he could protect her if Marcus tried anything.
So she picked me up and we went back to the house.
Marcus, what are you doing here?
I just want to talk to you. That's all I said.
No! It's late, and I'm over this.
Come on, man. Go home.
But once again, Marcus refused to let up.
Marcus's entire demeanor shifted.
Man, who the hell do you think you are, huh?
Just leave!
He was threatening her and basically laying out what he was going to do if she left him.
I'm gonna leave. Whoa.
Waco detectives investigating the murder of Nikki Walker are speaking with her cousin, Floyd Jordan. Floyd has just revealed that Nikki's tumultuous relationship with her ex, Marcus Scott, came to a head on the night of February 2nd.
Man, who the hell do you think you are, huh?
Just leave!
I'm gonna leave. Whoa.
He was threatening her and basically laying out what he was going to do if she left him.
You're not leaving me. You know that, right?
Marcus, just stop, okay?
You're gonna regret it if you try to leave me. I promise you that.
Cool it, man.
Hands off me. Leave.
Floyd tells detectives that eventually Marcus stormed off in a rage. But it wasn't the last they heard from him that night.
Floyd says Marcus continued to text Nikki threatening messages.
Oh my God.
Damn, this dude isn't letting up.
What if he comes back?
The messages were so alarming that Nikki was afraid to be home alone.
Why don't you stay at my place tonight?
Okay, yeah. That might be for the better.
Let's get out of here.
Floyd tells detectives that the last time he or anyone else saw Nikki, she was leaving his house at 4 a.m. the next morning.
All of this wasn't just a coincidence. It was Marcus. I know it was him. He killed Nikki.
Floyd speculates that maybe he went back to her house to wait for her to show up there.
Whatever option you go with, to him, Marcus Scott was guilty.
Thank you so much, Floyd. We really do appreciate you coming forward with all this.
He became essential to our case because now we've got a timeline where almost immediately before the murder's committed and her body's found, we've got our suspect threatening to do her harm.
After speaking with Floyd, detectives do a deep dive into Marcus's past.
They knew, according to Leland, Marcus had been in prison before, but they didn't know the extent of his crimes.
They find that Marcus has an alarming, decade-long criminal history, including convictions for deadly conduct, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and engaging in organized criminal activity.
And as they continue their investigation, detectives uncover another shocking piece of information.
In a substantially similar case, the detectives learned that in 2015, Marcus had broken into an ex-girlfriend's house and threatened to assault her.
When detectives contact the ex-girlfriend, she admits Marcus became violent with her on several occasions.
And she says that she eventually broke up with him because of how violent and possessive that he became.
Just like with Nikki, Marcus would show up to her home unannounced and would begin following her around as well.
To detectives, it's evidence of a disturbing and escalating pattern of behavior, but it's still not proof of murder.
They knew they had to talk to Marcus Scott again and confront him with the information that they had learned.
So detectives bring him in under the guise of a simple follow-up interview.
Marcus, thanks for coming back in.
No problem.
And this time, something on Marcus's leg catches their eye.
Marcus has scratches on his shin.
He had long pants on when they previously interviewed him.
What happened to your leg? That looks pretty painful.
When the detectives ask how he obtained these scratches, Marcus tells them that they are the result of an accident he had with a screen door.
It scraped me pretty bad.
They become even more convinced that Marcus is not telling the whole story.
Remind us again, when was the last time you and Nikki got together?
Sunday.
You sure?
Yeah.
We have reason to believe that's not true.
He doesn't mention anything about Leland dropping him off at her home on Tuesday night.
You saw her Tuesday, didn't you?
You two had an argument that night?
What? No, I never saw her on Tuesday.
Well, you willing to take a polygraph test to prove that?
Sure.
Although reluctant, Marcus does agree to go through with the lie detector test.
Did you get into an argument with Nikki Walker on Tuesday night, April 2nd?
No.
Did you harm Nikki Walker?
No.
Initially, he had denied any involvement, denied any violence in the relationship in the past, but then he fails the polygraph.
However, when detectives confront Marcus about the polygraph test results, he still doesn't waver.
All right, Marcus, tests show you're being deceptive. It's time to start telling the truth.
No, I didn't kill her. We got into a few arguments. Yeah, but nothing too crazy.
Marcus admits that he had been violent with Nikki in the past. He stated at one point he actually hit Nikki to get off of him during a fight that they had, which Nikki initiated.
And then he admits to play choking her during an argument in January.
Play choke?
Yeah, but you know, we were just messing around, that's all.
He continues to maintain that he had absolutely nothing to do with the murder.
And unfortunately for investigators, the results of the polygraph can't be used as evidence in court.
There's really good reason for that. Polygraph examinations, they're not a lie detector test. What they do is they measure sweat levels, heart rate, things that generally can be associated with deception. So they certainly have their value. They're just not admissible in any courtroom.
Therefore, with no confession or any other hard evidence, detectives will be forced to let Marcus go once again.
While Marcus's lies and his troubling relationship with Nikki point towards guilt, the detectives have no forensic evidence to prove that Marcus committed this murder.
But before he leaves, detectives obtain a sample of Marcus's DNA.
It could be months until they receive the results from the DNA evidence found at the crime scene, and eventually those months turn into years.
The Waco DPS crime lab, where we send blood to be analyzed for DNA, it simply takes time. It's a time-consuming process, and across the state of Texas, Waco included, forensic crime labs are overloaded with the amount of things that they have to test.
Nikki's loved ones start to grow worried that they will never receive justice for what has been done to her.
But then, on March 19th, 2018, more than 2 years after Nikki was killed, there's a breakthrough.
Detectives received word from the crime lab that they have completed testing on the specimens submitted in Nikki's case.
Marcus's blood was found at the crime scene. There's no longer any doubt on who's behind this murder.
The investigators believe that the blood came from the cut that he had on his leg.
Armed with their smoking gun, detectives file a warrant for Marcus's arrest on April 6th, 2018.
Marcus is taken into custody that same day.
He refuses to answer any more questions and asks for a lawyer.
And while justice for Nikki is long overdue, it looks like her loved ones may have to wait even longer.
Marcus is deemed incompetent to stand trial due to a psychotic disorder.
He punches a nurse who's trying to provide him with treatment.
Waco investigators finally have Marcus Scott in custody for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Nikki Walker.
2 years went by without them being able to convict anyone for Nikki's murder.
But now they have DNA evidence to prove that Marcus's blood was in Nikki's car. Along with other circumstantial evidence, this case seemed like a slam dunk.
But in February of 2020, the case hits another roadblock.
During a pretrial hearing in February of 2020, Marcus is deemed incompetent to stand trial due to a psychotic disorder.
In order to be incompetent, there has to be proof that an individual does not understand the consequences of decisions that they can make.
As a result of this diagnosis, Marcus's trial is paused until he is able to get the necessary treatment.
What usually happens in Texas is that somebody who is held incompetent, they get sent to a state hospital until they regain competence. Some people never regain competence, some people do.
All right, Mr. Scott, open up.
But even in the hospital, Marcus's violent tendencies emerge.
He punches a nurse who's trying to provide him with treatment. Ultimately, Marcus was charged with aggravated assault on a public servant, which is a third-degree felony.
3 years later, after undergoing additional psychiatric evaluation, Marcus is finally deemed competent to stand trial. But a new curveball hits this already muddled case.
Marcus goes blind during his time in the hospital due to glaucoma.
Marcus was a very different person than he was when he committed this murder. He was almost completely blind. It's a challenge from the outset because when jurors walk in, who they see seated at counsel table next to his attorney is a fairly nondescript, relatively thin blind man.
However, prosecutors warned jurors not to be fooled.
Prosecutors paint him as a vengeful ex who could not stand the rejection from Nikki Walker.
They point to Marcus' previous relationships and arrest history as proof that his anger and controlling tendencies were spiraling completely out of control.
And we had family violence experts come and testify to those dynamics and what jurors can expect statistically when it comes to this kind of homicide. Any individual in a domestic relationship with a strangulation event in that relationship is 700% more likely to ultimately take that person's life.
And prosecutors believe that's exactly what happened to Nikki.
Marcus had become physically aggressive with her.
Marcus himself admitted to their arguments becoming violent at times.
As far as Nikki was concerned, this wasn't something that she was willing to put up with.
And when she broke up with Marcus at the end of January, prosecutors say it was like lighting a fuse on a time bomb.
Nikki was ready to end the relationship. And when you're talking about family violence cases, the most dangerous time is when the relationship is ending, because the control and power that the abusive partner has is about to end.
It finally sunk in that the relationship was over. Nikki was not going to take him back.
At that point, instead of letting Nikki walk away, Marcus decided that if he couldn't have her, no one else could either.
Prosecutors believe that after the Tuesday night confrontation with Floyd and Nikki, Marcus returned to Nikki's house.
She came back home around 4:30 a.m.
When Nikki returned to the house, Marcus was waiting on her.
Marcus, what are you doing?
Marcus managed to overpower Nikki and wrap his hands around her throat. He held his grip until she was dead.
With his adrenaline pumping, Marcus didn't realize his shin had smeared blood onto the passenger seat.
Then Marcus carved the obscenity into the side of her car.
Then he fled the scene and went back home as if nothing had happened.
The defense argues just because Marcus's blood was in the car doesn't prove anything.
Their story is a simple one, that we can't meet our burden, which is beyond a reasonable doubt, because the evidence or the investigation is insufficient to reach that burden.
Marcus claims that his blood must have gotten in the car from the other times that him and Nikki have had fights.
Prosecutors refuted this by saying the blood found in the passenger seat was bright red, indicating that it was fresh, as if it's only been there a day or two. And Marcus was seen with a wound on his leg.
When the jury retires to deliberate, it takes them just 30 minutes to return with a verdict. Marcus Scott is found guilty of first-degree felony murder.
Marcus was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Although Marcus received the maximum sentence for his crimes, Nikki's loved ones still struggle to deal with the loss that will now forever haunt them.
There's no winners when we come out of a trial like this.
Although I think that justice was served, I think that it's a lose-lose situation because now her children are left without a mom.
It's just a very, very sad experience, especially for her children who now have to grow up without their mother. And then the memory of such a violent way that they lost their mother. So that's going to impact them and everyone who knew her.
It takes someone who is extremely deranged to do this sort of
What the hell?
On December 27, 2003, Quinn and I are in the office, and we get a call to respond to a person deceased in a house over on Boulder Crest.
This particular part of Atlanta is really interesting because it's on the cusp of another jurisdiction in Atlanta.
Residents in that area, in this particular house, if you were to call 911, you may get Atlanta police or you may get DeKalb County police.
That's how close the line was to this particular house. This time it fell in Atlanta, so on this day, it got me and my partner.
Hey, Jay. What do we got?
The call came in as shots fired.
All right, who called it in?
It was an anonymous call from a payphone.
You know, if someone's calling 911 from a payphone, we're thinking they don't want to be identified. So right now, our suspicions are up.
I waited for backup. We went inside and found a deceased male in the living room.
All right, let's take a look. Thanks.
This is a pretty interesting crime scene. But when we walk in, we don't feel the warmth of a family living here. It looks a little sinister.
Looks like they just moved in.
Well, maybe he lives alone.
We clearly see a black male on his back with dreads, with what appears to be gunshot wounds to the front of his torso.
It looks like he didn't get the call for help.
As we're examining our victim, we also see a cell phone right next to our victim's left hand.
Yo, that's a crucial piece of evidence.
We don't know what was going on. We'll be really interested on who the person was he last spoke to.
Hey, fellas.
What up, Alex?
Hey, Alex.
So the medical examiner arrives on scene.
Yeah, gunshot wounds, pretty recent.
Do you mind if we take a look?
No, go ahead.
We go into his pocket, and in his pocket we find his ID.
So Wali Muhammad, 25 years old, lived in Decatur, Georgia.
I guess this is not his place.
I mean, that's not really close to this location. What's he doing over here? While it's still the same county, that's a whole nother city.
All right, let me see if there's anything else. He's got something back here. Oh. These are 357s. Christina, can we bag this?
Yes.
Yeah, and did you find a gun?
I did not.
He's got a gun clip to an automatic weapon on his person, but there's no gun anywhere near him or in his pockets.
I got a piece of paper here. Yo, this guy just got out of county.
He's got like a jail receipt where he actually was just in jail like less than 2 days before this particular scene here.
That's terrible luck.
Like, who gets out of jail and gets killed?
We want to look around. We want to see what other evidence we can find.
Ooh, what's up, Fred? That's not a 357.
No, it's a 9mm.
Interestingly enough, we find a 9mm handgun basically hidden in the couch.
Drugs in the kitchen.
This is a trap house, no doubt about it. So we got to figure, is our victim a customer or was he a seller?
This is interesting.
What's that?
Got letters here addressed to a Leonard Abbott.
So we find these letters with the name Leonard Abbott inscribed on them. They actually have the address to where we're standing at. This is a clue.
Okay.
So as we venture further into our crime scene, we see 3 .357 caliber shell casings on the floor. And they're on the floor like somebody was in here working with a gun.
All right, so this is where the shooter opened fire from.
357. Now, isn't that the same caliber of bullet that we found in the Vic's pocket?
Yeah. Maybe he got killed with his own gun.
Is this just a coincidence, or is there just more to this story?
Christina, can we bag this?
Yes.
So we searched the entire residence. We do not find a 357 automatic pistol anywhere. So we know that killer took that gun with him.
The only thing missing from this joint is...
his money.
Exactly. So that means somebody hit a drug lick.
I mean, it's a possibility it could have been a customer that turned into a robber and killed the victim who may have been the proprietor.
All right, let's wrap this up.
It's time to expand our vision, so we go into the backyard area. There's this red Chevy Caprice that's, you know, standing out like a stop sign.
Ooh, what's this?
Could be a pretty big clue.
It looks like it's a car somebody's missing or belongs to maybe our victim or whoever else lives here. So we run the tag.
Thanks, man. All right, so the car's registered to a Kwame Cook.
That's a new name.
We want to know who Kwame Cook is because why is your car in the back of our crime scene?
But if his car's here, then he probably knows something, so...
Hey, detectives. There's someone here that wants to talk to you.
What's up, man? What's your name?
Eugene Strong.
He's actually our 911 caller. He came back to the scene.
That dead guy in there? It's my friend.
All right, let's step over here and talk for a second. Thanks, man. All right, so tell us what happened.
Wally called me this morning.
Eugene Strong goes on to tell us that his friend Wally Muhammad actually asked him to give him a ride over to this Boulder Crest address. He was gonna go inside, pick something up, and they'd be out of there.
Did he say what he was picking up?
No, he just said for me to wait for him outside.
Be right back.
Eugene goes on to say, about 5 minutes later, he hears shouting coming from inside the residence. It drew his attention, like he looked over. Next thing he knows, he hears multiple gunshots going on.
After that, I took off and drove to a payphone and called 911.
We wonder if Eugene is telling the truth.
We have to tune in not just what the witness is saying, but how they're saying it. It was clear as we're looking and listening to Eugene tell us this story.
But I wish I could have done something.
He's visibly shaken, like this victim meant something to Eugene. There's no doubt about that.
The shouting in the house, do you recognize any of the voices?
One was Wally, the other one I don't know, but he had a Jamaican accent.
We're thinking there's two people in there. The argument starts literally minutes after our victim walks in. That person with the Jamaican accent, that's likely our killer.
All right, so the house, it's a trap, right?
Yeah, Wally sold dope there.
He says Wally worked the trap house along with a guy named Country, a guy named Jamaican, which matches up with that accent he heard, and another guy named Ed.
Is there anything else you can add here?
No, that's it.
Come on.
So right now, we got a couple names to go on, one being Leonard Abbott that was found on mail addressed to him to our crime scene.
All right, I got something here. Okay, so it says he's listed as a suspect in an assault.
Okay, who's the vic?
It looks like a girlfriend named Courtney.
He's somebody who puts hands on people. If you put hands on people, it's not far-fetched that you put a gun in your hand and actually shot somebody.
Is there a phone number there for Courtney?
Yeah.
Hello?
This is Vince Velasquez. I'm a homicide detective. I want to talk to you about Leonard Abbott.
We give a call to Courtney, and she's giving us some information.
I don't know anything about a murder.
She lets us know straight up that's not her man anymore. They're estranged.
Okay, so we found a few letters of his in a house over on Boulder Crest.
Yeah, that's where he works.
She says that's a drug house, and her ex-old man, he sells drugs there just like everybody else.
Everyone on the street calls him Country.
We got to think back to when we interviewed Eugene. He gave us a roll call of everybody. He mentioned Country.
All right, thanks a lot.
So we finished the call with Courtney, and next up is Kwame Cook. And we got to remember, Kwame Cook is the person that has a vehicle in the back of this house.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, we just need to ask you a few questions. That's it.
He's a little cagey, but he's trying to figure out what we want, but he's cooperative.
I'll see you soon.
He agrees to come in for an interview. The investigation appears to be moving in a positive direction. But the suspect pool is deep.
What happened?
There was trouble at this trap.
We want to talk to you about your boyfriend, the Jamaican.
This was the wildest of goose chases. Hunting for the killer is like chasing a ghost.
There's no record for Nathaniel Payne.
This brother has one fake name after another.
Finally, an unexpected encounter will bring this case to a dramatic close.
Let me see your hands.
This was a life or death situation. It was going to be me or him.
Yeah, gunshot wounds, pretty recent.
We're working the murder of 25-year-old Wally Muhammad, shot to death in a trap house just inside of southeast Atlanta.
I don't know anything about a murder.
While searching for folks that frequented the residence,
We just need to ask you a few questions. That's it.
we get in touch with Kwame Cook, whose car was actually found behind our crime scene in the backyard.
He says you'll meet. I don't know. Something weird about that kid.
Yeah? Whatever it is, we're gonna pull out of it, all right? Don't worry.
I'm thinking Kwame is either the killer himself or he knows who the killer is. We're back at the office. Out of nowhere, my phone rings.
Velasquez, how can I help you?
It's an attorney representing Kwame Cook.
My client's willing to speak, but I need to be present for the interview.
This is suspicious. Like, why is Kwame lawyering up right now?
Okay, when can you meet?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Looking forward to it.
Sounds like we got us a hot date.
Can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Kwame's protecting Kwame in this situation. So we're looking at him sideways, but we know we're gonna get something.
The next day, we meet with Kwame and his attorney.
Gentlemen,
for the record, my client is cooperating when he doesn't have to.
we understand that.
Let's get started.
Okay, so why was your car at that house?
He was getting work done.
He says he gave that car to a friend of his named 6ix9ine to do some repair work on it.
Do you know this gentleman right here? He sells dope at that house.
He says he frequents this place, that he's a regular visitor.
Kick it with my cousin.
He identifies his cousin. It is Eduardo Hayes.
He says there's two other guys named Wally and Jamaican that also hang there.
Jamaican, there's that name again. It's the same name we heard our other witness talking about. He heard arguing from inside the house, a person with a Jamaican accent.
Now the Jamaican. You know his real name?
No.
So where were you during the day on December 27th?
Was in College Park.
So you didn't go to a trap house all day that day?
No. I was at my house with a friend.
All right, do me a favor. Let me get his name and number.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, we're done.
Let's go.
Let's see what we can do with that.
We quickly verified Kwame's alibi. At this point, we think he's given us everything he knows. We don't feel him being involved directly or indirectly in this murder.
As we're prepared to contact other people, we get a call from another attorney representing a guy by the name of Eduardo Hayes. He says he's not giving us a statement, but based off the information that we got on hand right now, we feel like the Jamaican is the killer.
You would think this guy would be easy to find, but when we searched our database for the name Jamaican, we came up with 0.
Hayes, what do you got?
Victim's phone.
We can go through his call log and see who he was communicating with up and around the time he was killed.
Okay, so a call comes in at 11:37 a.m.
Yo, that's only a few minutes before the 911 call.
Check out the caller.
The number he called was stored in his contacts as Jamaican.
Okay, so we know Wally was talking to him right before the murder, and we have them arguing right before the gunshot.
So this is it. We know for a fact that there is a connection between a Jamaican and our victim, and we just got to figure out how and why. We do a reverse lookup on the phone, hoping we get lucky without a subpoena, and we get nothing. It's goose egg.
Okay, so no name associated with this number is on the public record.
Subpoena time.
Yeah, we gotta slow play this one now.
We're not just gonna call the number and, put ourselves on blast. We want to creep in. We want to know more about this person before we just kill our investigation.
I wonder if Waleed's family can help at all.
Hey, it's Vince Velasquez over at APD.
We reached out to the victim's sister just to get some information, not just about our victim, but people that, our victim was associated with. She basically says her brother lost his way, but all in all, he was a good guy. And we've seen that before. Just because you're a drug dealer doesn't make you a bad person.
Thank you. Bye. So she doesn't know anything, but she gave me the number to somebody who might.
Beautiful.
She gave me the number for his girlfriend, Kari. I give her a call. She agrees to sit down and have a conversation with me and my partner.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with us.
Yeah, no problem. I always knew this could happen.
So I'm sure Wally shared with you what was going on in his life.
Just ask.
Did he ever talk about the Jamaican?
Yeah, Wally was on the phone with Country, and they were talking about money missing from the trap.
Country goes on to say he thinks the Jamaican is responsible for the missing money.
When was this call?
2 days before he died. Wally was talking to the Jamaican, and I could tell he was pissed.
The victim is mad about money missing, and they're yelling at each other, thinking, this is it. This is the reason why our victim is dead.
And then later that day, he got into a fight with his other girlfriend.
Cowrie goes on to say our victim got arrested for like a disorderly conduct charge.
That explains the jail paperwork he had on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the Jamaican's real name?
No.
We believe at this point that Cowrie has given us the why in this investigation.
Think of anything else? Give us a call. We'll see you.
Yo, Vinny.
Yep.
I got the Jamaican, baby.
We finally get subscriber information back on the Jamaican's phone number.
We now have a name. Kenroy Drummond.
Not only do we have a name, we find out Kenroy Drummond has an address in Northwest Atlanta.
Sounds like it's time to bust a move.
Israel.
It's time for a visit.
Tracking down the suspect will be anything but easy.
He's only 14 years old.
Yes.
This has never happened to us before.
Man, got me good, man. Robbed me just like last time.
He was a ghost.
This house and the crime scene tape don't match.
This particular trap house is something I had never seen before.
Looks like they just moved in.
Not only are these guys like straight up businessmen with how they get down with their drug trade, they got lawyers on speed dial.
Is there anything else?
These guys could have been businessmen, successful, and did something totally different and had a different life. They chose the drug trade instead.
We always believed the welcoming spirit was...
Yo, Vinny. I got the Jamaican, baby.
We've ID'd Wally Muhammad's killer as a guy known on the street as the Jamaican.
Okay.
While reviewing our victim's recent calls, we discover a contact in the phone listed as Jamaica.
We now have a name.
Subscriber information on the same phone comes back to a person by the name of Kenroy Drummond.
Sounds like it's time to bust a move.
Israel.
We're thinking this has to be the Jamaican. We go to the address that's listed for that phone number in Northwest Atlanta and knock on the door.
Okay, so I'm Detective Vince Velasquez with APD Homicide. You are?
Jalissa Drummond.
The interesting thing is Jalissa's got a Jamaican accent. We gotta be at the right place because we're looking for the Jamaican, so maybe that's her husband, her son, her brother.
Hey, is Kenroy Drummond around?
I'm his mother. What's this about?
Jalissa tells us that Kenroy Drummond is only 14 years old. So we're like, damn.
He's only 14 years old?
Yes.
This isn't making sense because when they did roll call, they identified a Jamaican as a man, not a young boy. We gotta figure this out right now.
Okay, Jalissa, so where was your son on December 27th?
We were out of town for the holidays.
She tells us he had nothing to do with anything involving a homicide. I mean, he's just a baby.
So a phone registered in your son's name is connected to our case.
Oh, so you're looking for Kenroy's father?
Okay. What's his name?
Deshaun. We haven't been together in a long time.
So we're thinking it's possible that maybe Deshaun just used his son's name to cloak his identity.
Where does Deshaun stay?
At the Economy Lodge on Moreland.
Thanks for your time.
It seems we have a new name for the Jamaican, Deshaun Drummond. After conversations with Jalissa, we went back to the office and entered Deshaun's name into the database. We found out that he had some prior arrests, but they were all misdemeanors. But that also meant we had a photo of him.
We printed out his booking photo and headed over to the Economy Lodge where Jalissa told us he lived. We spoke with the front desk clerk and actually showed him a picture of Deshaun.
He recognized him and said he no longer stayed there. However, he told us Deshaun works for a taxi company over on Flat Shoals Road. So at that point, we rushed over to the taxi cab company to see if we could find Deshaun Drummond. When we walk into this taxi company and we look into the break room, we see Deshaun. I'm like, there he is right there, eating lunch. I'm like, bingo, we got it. We're where we need to be right now.
We're with Homicide. We need to talk to you about a phone you've been using.
We get right to business with Deshaun. We ask him about the phone number registered to his 14-year-old son.
On my phone, that I just put in my son's name.
Immediately, I can hear his Jamaican accent. We might be face to face with the killer right now.
But me met my friend Barrett.
Okay, what's the friend's name?
One you just go by the name the Jamaican.
He says that he met the Jamaican while, driving his cab. They kicked it off pretty cool because they had similar lineage.
When was the last time you let him borrow your phone?
Back in December. Matter of fact, the 27th.
We finally tell Deshaun the reason we're there.
So we're working a murder that happened on that day, December 27th. A man named Wally Muhammad.
Yeah, he tell me saying shut a man from Bouldercrest.
This is huge. This brother just gave up the tapes on somebody that's a friend of his. He confessed for the guy we've yet to meet and have yet to identify.
Tell me everything that Jamaican said, exactly.
He just said something about some money. That's all I know.
Do you know if the Jamaican carries a gun?
Yeah, 357.
357? Now, isn't that the same caliber of bullet that we found in the Vic's pocket?
Yeah.
We're like, bam, that's it. We got 357 shell casings on our scene. All these pieces are coming together right now.
Okay, do you know where the Jamaican lives?
No, but Colleen might.
He doesn't know exactly where he is, but he does have the address for a girlfriend of Jamaican named Colleen.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, man.
We want to get to Colleen's house, the girlfriend, and who knows, maybe the Jamaican will be there. She actually lives at the corner of Flat Shoals and Bouldercrest, not far, like literally a stone's throw from our crime scene.
We don't know what we're gonna find.
You know, we could be walking right into the lion's den.
Yeah, he tell me saying shut a man from Bouldercrest.
We're hot on the trail of Wally Muhammad's killer, a man known as the Jamaican. We speak to a guy that's actually friends with the Jamaican, and he tells us the Jamaican told him he did the murder.
Okay, do you know where the Jamaican lives?
No, but Colleen might.
We get an address for where the Jamaican's girlfriend lives, so we're headed over there, but we don't know what to expect.
Quinn and I got to be careful because we may be walking into a dangerous situation. Shooters and killers many times hide out at their girlfriend's house.
Colleen?
Yeah?
We're detectives with APD.
But we get right to business. Ask Colleen, do you know where the Jamaican is? Is he around? Is he inside? She's like, no, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Okay, so he's your boyfriend, right?
Was. Not anymore. He's not here. Y'all can come inside and check.
Where is he?
I don't know. For real.
Of course, you know, the million-dollar question all along has been, who is the Jamaican? We ask her that.
I don't know his real name.
In my mind, I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, you've been dating this guy for years and you don't know his name, but we play along with it.
You know, Jamaica stopped by here.
She tells us on the day of the murder, the Jamaican actually showed up unannounced at her house.
He said he lost a gun and wanted my help finding it.
Murder weapon.
Right.
Without question, that's our .357 missing handgun from the crime scene back on Bouldercrest.
Where?
In the woods.
What Colleen is saying is that he dropped this murder weapon running to her house after he killed our victim.
Did you find it?
No.
She actually went into the woods with him and spent an hour looking for the gun. They couldn't find it.
Did he tell you anything else about the murder?
No.
She says eventually a friend of the Jamaicans, a guy named Cyrus Hughley, showed up and picked him up, and she hadn't seen him since.
Thank you.
Now we got Colleen expanding our roll call. We gotta go find Cyrus Hughley and see if he tells us the truth. We finally get a bead on our guy, Cyrus Hughley. He agrees to come in and give a formal statement, so we're delighted.
What can you tell us about the dude that you picked up from Colleen's crib?
You mean Dredd?
On the day of the murder, our guy Cyrus says he gave a lift, an actual ride to a guy he knows is Dredd.
Guess he from Jamaica.
Dredd has gotta be Jamaican. It's gotta be the same person.
Where'd you take him?
I only took him to the fast food joint.
Okay. He tell you about the murder?
Murder? Hell nah.
Said the Jamaican didn't say a word about it. He was cool as a cucumber.
See, I haven't seen him for a while until a few days ago when I was chilling with my friend KB.
He said the Jamaican knocked on the door. When KB opened the door, the Jamaican produces a handgun and robs him right there.
Can you have KB give us a call?
I sure can do that.
Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great day.
Now 5 minutes later, my phone rings.
Velasquez.
And it's KB. He's calling me to talk about this robbery that he was the victim of from the Jamaican.
So what happened?
Dude put a gun in my face and stole $800 in cash and a gold necklace from me.
You tell the cops?
Nah, man.
KB doesn't want to file a police report even with us. I mean, he's just gonna keep it ruthless, just like people do in the street.
Okay. How can we get in touch with you?
You can come find me.
KB is calling from a borrowed cell phone, so he doesn't even have a number to give us for contact purposes.
Come on.
And he said he drives an old Cadillac and always hangs around Moreland and Flat Shoals. He'll be easy to find.
Out of nowhere, we get an anonymous tip that the Jamaican has another girlfriend that lives on Panola Road over in DeKalb County. Our next step was we looked back at the phone records when the Jamaican made phone calls on Deshaun's phone.
On the day of the murder, we found calls from a female by the name of Patricia Fox. She has an address in Lithonia, which is not far from Panola Road.
This seemed way too close to be a coincidence. We go out to Lithonia, who we think is the Jamaican's other girlfriend. Clearly, she's a little older.
Patricia,
Yes.
we want to talk to you about your boyfriend, the Jamaican.
She says, you must be looking for my daughter, Melissa. She was dating a Jamaican guy. So now we know we're in the right spot.
I didn't approve of the relationship.
We'd love to talk to your daughter.
Melissa?
Just so happens she was home, so we asked, can we speak to her?
What's your boyfriend's name?
Nathaniel Payne, and we aren't together anymore.
This former girlfriend, Melissa, just unlocked our investigation. We now know the Jamaican is Nathaniel Payne.
Describe him.
He's like 5'9", in his early 40s.
When did you last see him?
Not since the middle of January. Look, I really don't know where he is. I would tell you.
Here's my card. Call me if you see him.
We think we have some good information. We got Nathaniel Payne. So we leave Melissa at her house. We head back to the office.
I'm on hold with INS. You get anything?
On this guy in the database.
We sent a request to INS to check in their records that may show anything they have on a Jamaican coming to our country.
Yeah.
There's no records for Nathaniel Payne.
Okay, thanks.
We're back to where we were when we started with just a nickname of a Jamaican.
You know, I'm telling you, Vinny, he played her.
We're thinking Nathaniel Payne may be just a name that he gave Melissa. Drug dealers lie all the time. Nathaniel Payne may just be another alias that he's going by.
Search the database for Dredd.
You know, Dredd, if you type in Dredd in any Metropolitan Police Department's database, you're gonna get hundreds of hits. People who have dreadlocks or dread-style hair usually go by that nickname.
Damn.
Okay. Try cross-referencing with Southeast Atlanta.
That's when we make an incredible discovery.
Oh, no, we got a hit, baby.
I don't believe this. This is happening again?
Describe him.
He's like 5'9", in his early 40s.
We finally have a name for Wally Muhammad's killer. After nearly 2 months into our investigation, we've identified the person known as a Jamaican as being Nathaniel Payne.
There's nothing on this guy in the database.
We've been searching this name endlessly, you know, working, trying to figure it out. It may not even be him.
Search the database for Dredd.
Yo, we got a hit, baby.
I see the initials KB. It's a robbery, but I remember KB didn't report the robbery.
Yo, did KB lie to us?
Not technically.
When I look at the date, it's a whole new robbery. The Jamaican, AKA Dredd, robbed KB for a second time.
So it happened again?
Yeah, but this time he filed a report.
Okay, so he knocked over the same guy twice in a matter of days.
This Joker is doing things that are uncharacteristic of people in the city, you know, after they do a murder. He's burning bridges as he goes. He may be packing bags to leave town. We gotta act fast.
That was 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's fresh.
KB said he hangs out where?
Moreland and Flat Shoals.
The Jamaican is still here, and we need to go see KB because he may know where the Jamaican is.
That's right.
We roll over to Flat Shoals in Moreland. We see an old beat-up, crappy Cadillac, and it's KB sitting right there.
Hey, KB, we'll holler at you. Come on.
All right, so what happened last night? This girl I know, Tina, called me last night. Wanted me to come to this place up in Kirkwood.
He's known Tina for a while. So, you know, he's not thinking anything of it. He shows up over in Kirkwood, knocks on the door, and there's Dredd again with a gun in his hand and robs him of his money again.
And got me good, man. Robbed me just like last time.
This sounds like a setup, and that's exactly what KB felt. He couldn't believe that Dredd has targeted him twice already. So he's mad.
I had to call the cops on him. What's the address where this happened? 90 Rogers Street.
All right, yeah, we got to do.
Thank you.
We're still in real time as far as our hunt down for the Jamaican known as Nathaniel Payne. We're hoping he's still there. I'm driving up to the residence, and me and Vince are looking at a female right on the property of 90 Rogers Street. She's at the mailbox, and she's not concentrating on our business. She's concentrating on us.
I think we have a lookout.
We know.
Vince is gonna follow behind this female. So I run around to the back.
Excuse me, miss?
Just to make sure if the Jamaican's there, he didn't run out the back door.
Hold up a second, let me talk to you. Where you going?
Something in my gut told me this guy's probably inside the house, and she's trying to figure out what to do.
Watch yourself, Vinny.
I said, hold up a second. You hear me? Stop!
She wouldn't turn around.
I got my partner on my radio. I can hear if anything goes south.
When she got to the door, that's when she turned around to see exactly where I was. And the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I knew something wasn't right. And as the door opens up, not 2 feet inside the doorway, do I see a man just frozen, staring at me. And at that moment, I knew that was the Jamaican.
Let me see her.
He immediately turned around and started running.
Stop!
Against all training, against everything that I know I should not do. I ran into that house.
Let me see your hands!
Can't let him go. I pulled my gun out, and I needed 2 hands on this thing. Because if I had to unload and reload with another clip, I was ready to go.
I'm at the back door. I don't hear anything.
Stop! Don't move! Let me see your hands!
My gun is punched out, and I'm screaming commands at this guy to show me his hands. I cannot see his right hand.
Let me see your hands! If I don't see your hands!
Don't move! Don't move! All hell broke loose, and I just hear all this screaming.
Last chance. Let me see those hands.
So now I'm face to face with this killer who, in my mind, is armed, and he is going to shoot me and kill me. Never felt that.
Let me see your hands.
My focus was on his right hand, and I could see it moving. And all of this is happening in a split second.
Last chance.
We tracked down Waleed Muhammad's killer,
Stop.
Nathaniel Payne.
Let me see your hands.
When he took off running, I knew I couldn't let him go. This guy has killed one person at least, has robbed the same guy twice, and who knows what other damage he's done.
If I don't see your hands!
But now, I'm in a life or death situation. This is like slow motion.
Let me see your hands!
And I'm thinking I'm gonna get shot or shoot somebody because I certainly don't want to die, and I don't want to take a life. He knew at that moment I was about to shoot him, and I was.
Please don't shoot, boss. On the ground! Get on the ground! Nice and easy.
Had he not pulled that hand out, we may not have a case here today.
Vinny, over here.
But thank God he showed all 10 fingers, and he allowed me to handcuff him safely. And true to form, he had a 9mm tucked in his waistband.
You got it?
Yeah.
There's one in the chamber, Vinny.
He was probably going to take the chance of shooting a government official, and he just changed his mind. Whether it was God or just good sense, I'm glad he made the right decision.
What's your name? Daniel Lindell Payne.
Confirmation that this indeed is our homicide suspect, also known as the Jamaican.
It's now to have a sit down. We're hoping this guy's going to talk to us. Me and my partner know he's doing the interview alone.
So, you agreed to waive your right to counsel?
Yes.
He wants to talk to me, and without hesitation, I start to ask him questions about the Waleed Muhammad homicide.
I shot him. I admit it. Me have nothing to hide.
Okay, walk me through it.
It all started because money was missing from the house. They thought I was stealing, and they were going to kill me. And it was all going down before the end of the year.
And now on December 27th, Wali Muhammad shows up at the trap house. He's already on high alert. He's always carrying his piece. He's ready because that's the tool of the trade if you're a drug dealer.
I was scared. I thought he was out to get me. So Wally walks in and says he wants my gun.
What gun?
The .357 I bought from Wally.
There was a controversy about the gun that he actually purchased from the victim that he didn't finish paying for it. So then it became heated. And that's supported by the witness, Eugene, who's in the driveway, who hears shouting.
I told him, it's mine. I'm not giving it to him.
Our victim posturing, according to Nathaniel Payne, that he was going for a gun. So he reacted. He pulled out his own weapon and shot the victim first.
He was going to kill me. That's why I shot him.
How many times did you pull the trigger?
I don't know. Me was scared. It was self-defense.
Now, Nathaniel, I appreciate you telling me what happened, but I want you to know, Wally didn't have a gun.
Nathaniel Payne says that he saw our victim reaching under his shirt as if he's pulling a gun out. But when we recall back when we processed the crime scene, our victim didn't have a gun.
Nathaniel Payne killed our victim, Wali Muhammad. I mean, that's not even in dispute. The rest is up to a jury.
Let's get you to booking. Come on.
Thank you. You treated me with respect and honor.
He says, you know, I've never really had a conversation like I just did with any police officer ever in my entire life. And you seem like a nice guy. And I said, okay, well, thank you. But why are you telling me this?
I'm glad I didn't kill you at the house.
This is a man basically telling me that he was going to murder me and that now that he knows who I am, he would have felt bad about it.
Thanks for not going for your gun. Come on.
The most bizarre conversation I've ever had in my entire police career.
Nathaniel Payne is charged with the murder of Wali Muhammad.
Nathaniel Payne was taken to the DeKalb County Jail and fingerprinted. We ran his prints and found out there's a match in the national database for a warrant for murder out of Cleveland, Ohio. We found out that this case involved a man shot to death in 2001 in the city of Cleveland. The suspect in that case was a Jamaican man named Calvin Morrison.
Cleveland Homicide sent us a picture of Calvin Morrison, and sure enough, it was Nathaniel Payne. It's clear this guy's got many aliases, so who knows what his real name is.
In 2005, Nathaniel Payne goes on trial in Fulton County for the murder of our victim, Wali Muhammad. This trial goes on for over a week, and when the jury comes back with a verdict, it's not guilty. We know for a fact that Nathaniel Payne pulled the trigger and killed our victim, Wali Muhammad, but his self-defense